Hello, and welcome to Make a Difference, the show about how volunteers are making a difference every day here in Montgomery County. I'm your host, Lorraine Driscoll. Today, we'll be talking with Matt Roller, Manager of Program Engagement at Junior Achievement, and Maria Steyn, a volunteer with the program. We'll be discussing how Junior Achievement teaches financial literacy skills to middle school students and how volunteers are critical to helping students learn. If you stay tuned, we'll discuss the literacy program, the important role that volunteers play, and how you can become a volunteer with Junior Achievement. Don't go away, we'll be right back. Welcome back to Make a Difference. I'm your host, Lorraine Driscoll. We're here to discuss how residents can become a volunteer with Junior Achievement. And I want to welcome our guests today, Matt Roller and Maria Steyn. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us, Lorraine.
Great. And so Matt, I want to start with you. You work at Junior Achievement. So Junior Achievement has a focus on teaching kids literacy. How do you do that?
Yeah, well, our focus is financial literacy. I'll give you and the audience a little background on the organization as a whole. It was started in Massachusetts in 1919 as a way to foster financial literacy in the community. And what's exciting about this upcoming year, 2019, we will actually be celebrating our centennial 100 years of Junior Achievement, which is certainly an exciting feat. From the start and continuously up until now, our goal is through our volunteer-driven K-12 programs really to foster financial literacy, entrepreneurship, and work readiness through an experiential learning platform. And we like to hyper-focus on that word experiential because we think that's a hallmark not only of our programs, but the educational realm in general. And we don't want to just be lectured, we don't want to just lecture our students, but we actually want them to be able to experience things in the real world and things that are applicable when they get beyond the classroom. We'll be talking about Finance Park, which is Junior Achievement's capstone program and the program that's now introduced into Montgomery County. And when we delve in a little deeper, I think people will understand a little more about what it's like to go through experiential programs.
Where they're really working it out. So I guess I get a sense the students learn a little bit in the regular classroom, but then they go on site for this financial literacy program?
Right, so we've had a partnership with MCPS since 2003. Things got ramped up in 2011 when we introduced a 6th grade program called Economics for Success. That was a purely in-class based program. We transitioned this year to our capstone program, Finance Park, which is a hybrid. So we provide a curriculum for 7th grade World Studies teachers to implement in their classroom for 4 weeks prior to their trip. And then after they receive that content and they get a grasp on the concepts that are involved, whether it be budgeting, savings, risk management, or investing, then they show those skills off at our facility, which is called Finance Park. And they're able to apply those skills in a real world setting. Wow,
so now I gather you need volunteers with all these kids running around Finance Park. Maria, I understand you've been a volunteer for a little while. Tell me about that.
So it's really fun. I have been able to be a volunteer with other schools and also the school that my daughter goes to, which is great. The first time I did it, I was a little nervous. I knew that I wanted to help promote financial literacy, and so I contacted Matt. But basically, the first time you do it, you get there earlier, 9 o'clock, and you do 1 hour of training. Once you've done that training, you can go and volunteer any other time, and you don't have to come back early for the training, which is kind of cool.
Now, do you need special skills to do this role, or?
No, you don't. We don't require any prior financial experience. You don't need a background in finance. All we ask, and we make a joke about it, but it's true, all you need is to be over the age of 18 and you've had to pay a bill in your life at some point.
Gotcha.
If you meet those requirements, then we will welcome you with open arms.
And Junior Achievement trains you. So the first time that you go, you have some training, and they explain what's going to happen and what tools you have to help you guide the kids. And you end up with this binder, which basically has a whole bunch of questions that you should ask the kids as they go through each step of the way. And junior achievement actually pipes in to the park. Okay, now turn to page 22, and then the kids are also following along on their computers. And they can't get past where they're supposed to be because they have codes. So everybody stays, so there's no pressure in terms of content or in terms of timing. So you really are just interacting with the kids and helping them make their own decisions throughout the simulation. So it's very cool.
Yes, and I think that's an important point to bring up. A lot of potential volunteers get a little concerned about working with students and finance, and they get a little freaked out and worried, can we actually do this? But the reality is that you're never alone as a volunteer at Finance Park. You always have support, whether it be our staff on the floor. Volunteers can put a question mark sign out of the storefront if they need help, and the staff member will come and help them. And everyone's on the same page for the most part throughout the day, because Maria said, there's...
So you guys are guiding the volunteers and the volunteers are guiding the students.
Right.
Is that...
Yeah, and exactly right. And what it does is, as a volunteer, it allows you to really tune in with the students and see what each of them may be struggling with, or so you can see when those teachable moments are occurring.
Cool.
And then when they are ready, because of the simulation, to think about some concept like, pay for your essentials first when you're doing your budget, right? There's time for those things to happen at the point that the decision is making, the student is making that decision. So it really is a good program.
That's great. Now, so you're reaching every 7th grader. How do you do that? Every MCPS 7th grader. How does that work out?
It's not easy. Since 2011, with our 6th grade program, we've reached over 80,000 students in the classroom. As you said, now we'll be reaching all 7th grade students in the county school system. And that partnership lasts for 15 years. So that's about 12,000 students each year. We can't do it with our staff alone. Volunteers, as you said, are critical. And we also need the help of the teachers. Our program at Finance Park would not be possible without these teachers implementing the curriculum we provide for them. And it's not an easy task.
So the kids show up, they've already learned things, and now they're experientially playing
Precisely,
it out.
and that's the experiential aspect that I spoke about at the beginning.
So if someone wants to volunteer with you, how do they reach you?
All they need to do is they can call me on my office line at 301-288-8602 or email me at matthew.roller@ja.org. Let me know that you're interested in volunteering, and it's as simple as coordinating whichever day or days you would like to volunteer.
And then people sign up for the day that works for them, and then...
Yeah, I will send a list of dates that are available for volunteers, and they let me know what works for their schedule, and we'll take it from there.
Great, great.
Well, and if one thing as a volunteer is, it is super flexible. So you can do it, on a time that he potentially needs you. You get to pick the time, and then because of the timing of when it is, once you've done that initial training, you're kind of doing it between 10 and 2. So it's outside of rush hour. It's outside of the bus times. So there's a lot of flexibility in terms of being able to actually help out with this.
So you can sign up for the day that works for you, but you need to show up.
Yes, you need to show up. There's no commitment beyond that.
Right.
And you arrive at 9-10 a.m. The schedule's consistent throughout the school year. So volunteers arrive at 9:10, students arrive at 10:10, and then from 10:10 to 2:10, that 4-hour window while the simulation is going on, that's when the volunteers are really engaging with the students.
So there's a mix of parent volunteers from the schools, and then these community volunteers who sign up like this.
Yeah,
so it's a real team effort.
It is a team effort, and parent involvement has been really wonderful in Montgomery County so far. We've hosted 6 schools, and we have many to go. So we pull from the community, the parent communities at each school, and then also we partner with several companies in the area. I would love to partner with more, and get teams from different companies out, groups of 10 to 30.
So if somebody works at a company that does that, they could promote
pitch it
this
to your
as an
team,
option?
promote it, and I think once you go for the first time, everyone will really want to come back and enjoy it.
It sounds really fun. Now you were saying like when the kids walk in, what do they see?
So this is one of my favorite moments. I mean, there are several, but one of my favorite moments is, the kids come in and they sit in this big auditorium and they watch this animated video and it explains to them what's going to happen. And then the video finishes and the screen raises up, and then the junior achievement folk open up the doors, and it's like this massive unveiling moment, and the kids are so excited, and without fail they all go, oh. wow, because they've just seen Finance Park for the first time.
Right.
And they're super excited about getting their personas, and it's one of my favorite.
Yes.
So persona, what's that?
So every student has to grapple with a life scenario. So when they come in for the first time and log into their tablets, they're given that life scenario. And one student could have a salary of $80,000 and no children, no spouse. The next student could have a salary of $30,000 with 2 children. And they have to figure out and navigate that
And
scenario.
they're in the same little work group. They're looking, wow.
Exactly.
So they're kind of learning from each other.
And so that's exactly what happens. So, the second most fun moment is when the kids get their personas, and then they're all
Fun
like,
is relative.
and they're all like, how come I have kids and a spouse, or but the program tells them what their debt level is, what opportunities for educational advancement are. It gives them clues as to how they can balance their budget in a way that makes sense for their persona, and then there's actually follow-up in the classroom afterwards. But yeah, having them see what their persona is, and then as they're trying to balance the budget, they're going shopping and they're like, wait, I have to buy groceries for my family, and I have to buy health insurance for my entire family, not just me.
It's the whole
thing.
It's
Everything.
the whole,
It's paying taxes. It is health insurance, car insurance, and they have to decide, do they want to buy a car and deal with automotive maintenance and insurance,
And that's
or
one of the biggest issues is transportation.
or
Shocked by the
do
cost.
they want to take public transportation system,
Right.
and all of that information is fed through the way the program unfolds. And as a volunteer, it's awesome because it kind of educates me in terms of what I can talk to my daughter or a younger or an older sibling later, and what to potentially follow up with, and it really is, it's really good material.
So one parent or one community volunteer has how many kids? in
About
their group?
6 to 8, depending on
Okay.
the size of the group that the school brings that day. But we host anywhere between 100 and 150 students almost every single day of the school year.
And then you have how many volunteers a day?
We need between 17 and 20 every single day to efficiently and
Wow.
effectively run our
So
program.
if people are interested in
big
this,
ask.
like they should dive in. And
Absolutely.
so you've volunteered just a few times so far. You can
Right.
really make it as big or as
Absolutely.
infrequent or infrequent as works for you.
Absolutely, and that's exactly it. And the thing is that it's great to do it for your own kid because you see them making their choices as a 7th grader, and you have the opportunity to discuss those choices or just see what they are.
Right. And
Go ahead.
I'm so sorry, we're
No,
out
you're
of time. This is so awesome. I'm so sorry to cut you off,
No,
but
no.
this is so exciting. So Matt, tell us one more time, if people want to volunteer or learn more about Junior Achievement, how do they find out?
So specifically, if you want to volunteer at the new Finance Park in Montgomery County, you can give me a call at 301-288-8602 or email me at matthew.roller@ja.org. Just let me know you're interested in the program, and we should be able to figure out dates for you to come in. If you're interested in other volunteer opportunities outside of Montgomery County, maybe, you can visit our main site, www.myja.org. And there's plenty of information there and material that you
Perfect.
can look at.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Matt and Maria. I'm really excited you came in today and tell us about this great opportunity.
Thanks for having us, Lorraine.
We've been talking today with Matt Roller, Manager of Program Engagement at Junior Achievement, and Maria Steyn, a volunteer with the program. For more information about volunteering in Montgomery County, please contact the Volunteer Center at 240-777-2600 or visit their website at montgomeryserves.org. And remember, as a volunteer, you can make a difference.
County Cable Montgomery, your information station.